For over 4,500 years, the Great Pyramid of Giza has towered over the Egyptian desert. It is the last surviving wonder of the ancient world, and yet it continues to defy our understanding. We've all heard the usual explanations, that it was a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu, that ramps and ropes were used to drag millions of stones, or the wild conspiracies about aliens and lost civilizations. But what if I told you there's another side to the story? A side that is less about aliens and more about human genius, forgotten sciences, and mysteries still unsolved today. In this video, we'll explore secrets rarely discussed, the everyday life of the workers who built the pyramids. So, let's begin this journey, not just into the stones of the pyramids, but into the minds of the people who created them. Hollywood has misled us. For decades, films have shown slaves whipped under the sun, forced to drag massive blocks. But archaeology tells a different story. Excavations near Giza have revealed entire workers' villages. These weren't prisons. They were well-planned settlements with streets, bakeries, breweries, kitchens, even medical stations. Skeletons found here tell us more. Many had broken bones, but those bones had healed properly. This means workers were treated medically, cared for, and allowed to recover. That doesn't happen with slaves. The workers were skilled laborers and seasonal farmers. When the Nile flooded their fields, they joined the workforce at Giza. It wasn't punishment, it was service to their pharaoh and a source of pride. And they were paid not with coins, but with food and drink. Daily rations included bread, onions, garlic, vegetables, and most importantly, beer. Lots of beer. Historical records suggest a worker might receive up to 4 liters of beer per day. Beer wasn't just for celebration. It was nutrition, hydration, and currency. Imagine finishing a 10-hour shift hauling limestone, and your paycheck is bread and beer. Strangely, it worked. There's also evidence of festivals and feasts at the workers' village. Music, dance, and collective meals weren't luxuries. They were morale boosters, making the work feel like a national celebration rather than forced labor. So when we look at the Great Pyramid, we shouldn't only see the pharaoh's tomb. We should also see the story of tens of thousands of ordinary Egyptians, united by loyalty, pride, and shared labor, leaving behind the most enduring monument of human history. Now imagine this challenge: building a 147-meter tall pyramid with 5.5 million tons of stone. Where do you even begin? The secret lies in the Nile River. The Egyptians used the annual flood cycle of the Nile to their advantage. During flood season, when farmlands were underwater, farmers became construction workers. At the same time, the river itself turned into a highway of stone. Limestone blocks from nearby quarries and granite from Aswan, 800 kilometers away, were loaded onto giant wooden rafts. When the Nile swelled with floodwaters, those rafts floated right up to canals dug near the construction site. This wasn't random effort, it was precision logistics, synchronized with the environment. Think of it as the first mega project in human history, requiring supply chain planning, seasonal labor management, and resource allocation. And it worked. Over 20 years, stone after stone arrived at exactly the right time, feeding into a construction rhythm that still amazes modern engineers. For centuries, people believed the Great Pyramid had given up all its secrets. We knew about the King's Chamber, the Queen's Chamber, and the Grand Gallery. But in 2017, scientists used a revolutionary technique called muon tomography. It's like an X-ray, but instead of light, it uses cosmic particles that pass through stone. What they found stunned the world: a massive hidden void, stretching at least 30 meters long, sitting above the Grand Gallery. To this day, no one knows what it is. Is it a hidden chamber filled with treasures, a structural feature to reduce weight, or a space deliberately left for reasons lost to time? The most fascinating part is, this was discovered only a few years ago. It proves that even after 4,500 years, the pyramids are still hiding mysteries. Here's something even stranger. The pyramids were not built by simply stacking stones. Between those stones is a special mortar, an ancient binding material. Modern scientists have studied its chemical composition. We know it includes calcium and other minerals. But here's the mystery: we cannot recreate it. Every attempt to reproduce the exact formula has failed. The mortar is stronger, more weather-resistant, and more durable than anything modern engineers can explain. Think about that. In a world of skyscrapers and space stations, we still cannot replicate the simple glue that Egyptians used thousands of years ago. Was it a lost recipe, an accident of natural resources that no longer exist, or knowledge deliberately passed down only to a few? It remains one of the strangest unsolved puzzles of the pyramids. The pyramids are more than giant piles of stone. They are cosmic instruments. Most people know the Orion's Belt theory, that the 3 pyramids at Giza align with 3 stars in the Orion constellation. But the precision goes even deeper. The Great Pyramid's sides align almost perfectly with the 4 cardinal directions: north, south, south, east, and west, the error less than 1/15 of a degree. This is astonishing because compasses didn't exist, GPS didn't exist. So how did they do it? One theory is that they tracked the equinox, when the length of day and night are equal. By measuring shadows, they could map perfect east-west lines. Another theory says they used stars, carefully watching their rise and set over months, building astronomical charts. And this wasn't just symbolic. The pyramid may have also functioned as a calendar system. Its alignment with solstices and equinoxes helped farmers track seasons, guiding planting and harvesting. So the pyramid wasn't only a tomb, it may have been a giant agricultural clock feeding an entire civilization. Now here's something very few people know. Inside the king's chamber of the Great Pyramid, scientists detected unusual acoustic effects. When sound is made inside, the chamber amplifies and resonates at specific frequencies. In 2018, researchers from Russia and Germany confirmed that the pyramid's chambers concentrate and direct energy in strange ways. It's almost as if the structure itself was tuned like a musical instrument. Could this be coincidence? Or did the ancient Egyptians understand acoustics, using sound for rituals, chants, or even spiritual experiences? The thought that the pyramid itself could sing adds another layer of mystery to this already complex monument. We often think of the pyramid as just a building, but in reality, it was the economic engine of Egypt. Employing tens of thousands of workers for 2 decades meant massive demand for food, tools, housing, and transportation. Farmers, traders, craftsmen, and boatmen all became part of the pyramid machine. In many ways, pyramid construction was like Egypt's version of the Industrial Revolution. It created jobs, stimulated trade, and developed new technologies. Instead of collapsing the economy, the pyramid fueled it. It gave people purpose, work, and unity under the pharaoh. The Great Pyramid wasn't just a tomb, it was also Egypt's largest economic development project, shaping the society around it. Finally, the most fascinating idea. The pyramid may not just be a tomb or a monument, it may be a time capsule of knowledge. Consider this: the ratio of the pyramid's perimeter to its height is almost exactly 2 pi, the mathematical constant. Its base dimensions are proportional to Earth's equatorial circumference. Was this coincidence, or a deliberate encoding of mathematical and astronomical knowledge? Some researchers believe the pyramid was designed not only to house a pharaoh, but to preserve the science, mathematics, and astronomy of an advanced civilization, hidden in plain sight, carved into stone. It's as if the ancient Egyptians wanted their knowledge to outlast even their own empire. And it has. 4,500 years later, we are still trying to decode their message.